So, 22 films, 11 years, all accumulating to this moment. Did Endgame live to the hype? Well, what up, people? It's your boy Chig from Guna Eagle Eye coming to again with something a little different. Now, I don't normally do movie reviews, well, not often anyway. But for those of you who do know, I am a big movie buff and I do like my comic book movies. I know you see a big guy, shock. But it's true. I do like my comic book movies. And, you know, for me, I was easily my most anticipated film. I have 3 most anticipated films for various different reasons that are dropping this year. Lion King is one, because that's a classic. Love the cartoon, or the animated version, I should say. I'm gonna damn what you guys say. John Wick 3. I'm a guy. I'm an action guy. What can I say? John Wick 3 and this. This was by far and away actually my most anticipated film of the last 2 to 3 years, because I really wanted to see how they were going to tie it up, how they were going to make it all kind of fit. So I guess the real question is, how did they do? I thought it was brilliant. And this is going to be really hard to do without doing spoilers. And I will be doing a separate spoiler video. And I'm actually going to do that for the very first time with a guest tomorrow. So yeah, I'm going to give you guys a lot of content. So for those of you who like my films, reviews and stuff, I'm going to be doing this as a non-spoiler review. And tomorrow will be the spoiler version, because I'm hoping by Saturday, some of you, if not most of you, would have seen it. But did they achieve it? Yeah, I thought it was really good. Really good. I think I will say this. As a movie, I thought this was better than Infinity War. Let me say that again. As a movie, I thought Infinity War was better. I thought it was a better paced film. But in terms of them building a story and showing character development and arcs, and actually the acting, I actually thought was better in this movie than it was in Infinity War. In Infinity War, it was pretty fucking good. But I gotta admit, I thought actually in Endgame, the acting was top notch. They really sold me. They really did. I gotta warn you guys now, all the rumors were true. It is a 3-hour movie. I gotta admit, it didn't feel like 3 hours, but it does feel like you're in there a long time. I know my mate managed to see it a day before I did. And one of the things that he said was that he felt like it could have been 30 minutes shorter, maybe. And yeah, I did think that could have been the case. There were certain parts there where you think to yourself, did you really need that? There were certain parts you could have thought, oh, that would have been better for a director's cut, maybe. So I think, and that's what I mean, as a movie, I thought Infinity War was tighter. It was more succinct. It was a really well-paced movie. And Infinity War was only half an hour shorter than this. But I bet you guys didn't even know that, really, unless you are the type of person to look at those type of details. Because Infinity War doesn't seem like a 2.5 hour movie. It didn't feel like a 3-hour movie, but it did feel like a long movie. Just because the first 2 acts were a very gradual build. The second act in particular was very, okay. First act, you can kind of understand it being quite slow, because they were trying to establish, okay, they've got a problem. how are they going to solve it. The how is always going to be quite a slow, gradual build as they start to gather their paces. And oh gosh, I'm really trying not to go into spoilers, but basically they need to devise a plan. I mean, this is not giving it away. If you've seen the trailer, you know this already. They need to devise a plan as to how to fix what happened in Infinity War. And so that part, I do warn you, is a little bit of a slow build. But actually, once it starts to gather pace, maybe towards the back end of Act 2, beginning of Act 3, though, is one of the most epic Act 3s I've ever seen. In fact, I actually think in a way, and this is going to sound like a bit of a weird comment, that the Russos kind of overshot it a little bit, in the sense that it was such a big piece in terms of what they do for Act 3. And in a way, I get it. It kind of needed to be. It was the type of Act 3 where it genuinely sent shivers down your spine, particularly if you are a big fan of the Avengers and the 22 films. It was quite a thing to look at and quite a thing to watch. But yeah, it was everything that I wanted the film to be, in a lot of ways, because it needed to be epic. It needed to have that big stakes feel. There needed to be something on the line. There needed to be sacrifice. There needed to be, it needed to not be easy. And yeah, for me, I think they managed to achieve all of that. I think the 6 Avengers in particular, I thought did really, really well. I thought Paul Rudd is Paul Rudd, and I think his character supported them really well. But I think the best way I could describe this for anybody watching this and say, all right, well, how would you describe the Avengers movie? I think if Infinity War was about Thanos, and it was really a Thanos movie featuring the Avengers, that doesn't mean to diminish the Avengers' part in the movie, but let's be real, the movie was about Thanos. He won. Spoiler alert on that film. But in Infinity War, he won. So it was about Thanos. This was very much an Avengers movie, and actually it was very much about the Avengers were very much the centerpiece of this, as it should have been. And I thought they knocked it out of the park. I think standout performances for me were Captain America, absolutely excellent from Chris Evans. For me, the best work I've seen him do on any of his movies. I thought RDJ was fantastic. I thought Thor, who had a very interesting arc himself, was strong. I thought Jeremy Renner did really well as Hawkeye. And in fact, thinking about even Scarlett Johansson, I thought would put in a very strong performance. She has a really interesting character development as well. Actually, the Russos have done really well with Scarlett Johansson in particular, because, and this is no disrespect to the first Avengers movie, or even Iron Man 2 with Jon Favreau, but there's something that the Russos have done since Winter Soldier, then Civil War, Infinity War, and now this. They've made that Black Widow character really interesting, actually. And you know what I actually liked? And I know a lot of you guys don't particularly like Brie Larson. I get it. You'll be happy to know she's not a huge feature in this film. Not that much. Not really. So this really is mainly a story about the 6 Avengers and Ant-Man. And I thought all of them did really well. They knocked it out of the park. This film will break all sorts of records. I heard opening night alone made 43 million. I mean that is nuts. So this will do really, and that was just in the UK, mind you. So because we had the film slightly earlier than you guys in the States. Um, so yeah, I think everybody did really well, and yeah, I'm so happy. And I've already seen the film twice. It's been out for 2 days. So anyway, I'll be back tomorrow to do a spoiler review where it'll be a lot easier to talk about this. But my mark for this film, I'm going to give it an A minus. I'll be back tomorrow for you Arsenal fans wondering, what the hell am I doing a film review? I'll be back tomorrow to do a preview for the Leicester game. And other than that, I'll catch you guys soon. Take care. Deuces.